Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. The law enforcement officer's job of apprehending criminals is a difficult one. It is made even more difficult when the criminal is an intelligent craftsman, an expert at his brand of lawbreaking. Stanley Wright was such a man. His method of safe-cracking was thorough and sensational. Highway Patrol, in trying to gather sufficient evidence to apprehend him, soon realized they were pitted against a strategist whose plans were thorough, whose rare ability at listening to a safe to open it left no clues, no guilt-revealing evidence.
Mr. Snyder, the owner?
I'm Ed Snyder.
Matthews, Highway Patrol.
How do you do, Mr. Matthews?
How do you do?
I don't understand it, Mr. Matthews. I opened it this morning, but the money just wasn't there. It had vanished.
You're sure it was in there?
Yes, I am. I put the day's receipts in there myself last night.
Did you close the place?
Yes, I did. I do every night.
No sign of anybody breaking in?
Not at all. Even the safe works fine. The coins and papers are still there, but all the bills are gone.
How much was in there?
About $350.
Have the lab boys check it over. I don't think you'll find very much. Anybody else know the combination?
Only my wife, but she doesn't have to steal it.
I know what you mean. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
You were dead to the world, so I didn't bother you.
Didn't know you worked the early shift today.
Early shift, late shift, what's the difference? It's all just as hard work.
I hit the Snyder Market last night.
Yes, I know. Did you get any more than you did over in Durham?
No. It's a tough job, honey. Takes a lot of planning. And when we do hit it big, we want to be around to spend it.
How much longer do I have to front for you in this monkey uniform?
We gotta have some obvious means of support.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, Stanley. I just get on edge sometimes. I'm sorry.
You better get going.
Okay. Take care of yourself, honey.
Those safes haven't been punched, burned, or peeled, so there's only one other way to get into them.
Looks like one of the employees must have gotten a hold of the combination.
Well, we can rule that out. Too many other jobs have happened in the same area. This guy's no amateur.
Listener's about as rare as an Eskimo in Florida. There couldn't be more than a dozen in the country. Why would one waste his time with these small jobs?
Because there are so few listeners left. The new combinations are so quiet you can hardly hear them fall into place, and the ones that have been knocked over would be a pushover for a listener.
I run a check, see if we can come up with anybody.
Yeah, do that right away.
I'm home, honey.
Hi.
You look tired.
That lunch hour's murder, Stanley. I have to work. I'm going to start looking for a sitting job.
Relax, it won't be long now.
You found the spot?
I think so. Take a little time. Right now we gotta buy another car.
Another car, but why?
So you can have that sitting job for the rest of your life.
Are you Stanley Wright?
Yeah, what's the matter?
We'd like you to come down to headquarters.
What for?
Just like to talk to you.
Well, like I said, I don't have much choice. Is there a warrant?
No, there isn't.
Get my hat, will you, hon? You mind if I drive my own car?
No, not at all.
Stanley, you don't have to go if they don't have a warrant.
I'm on parole, remember? Don't worry, they don't have a shred of evidence. Look, you call a cab and go down and buy that other car. I'll be back in time for dinner.
Your record says you served time for safecracking in Chicago and Illinois. Right now you're out on parole.
That's right. But when I came in town, I reported as required. Why'd you pick me up? Some violation of parole procedures?
Can you account for your time last night?
I think so.
A week ago last night, were you in Durham?
Durham. Well, I haven't been in this area very long. I don't know all the towns around here. A week ago last night. Yes, I'm sure I can account for that night, too.
I suppose your wife is your witness.
Well, sure. Only been married a short time. Still kind of honeymooning. We're practically inseparable.
What are you living on, right? Your annuities?
No. As a matter of fact, I don't have much money. My wife works, but I'm having kind of a tough time finding a job.
What kind of a job are you looking for?
When you're next con, it's tough to be selective.
Yeah, I know.
Will that be all?
And for now.
Oh, it was very nice talking to you.
He's real cute, isn't he?
He'd be just as happy out spotting the police as he would be knocking over a safe. Have a tail put on him 24 hours a day.
And started when he walked out the door.
Check the safes in the area?
Yeah, there's 6 of them in a 25-mile radius. 5 are just like the ones who've already been hit. Small stores, old-fashioned safes, no alarms. The other's a jewelry store in Amberley. That has an ADT wire to the phone company. Not much chance to hit that one.
Let's talk to the owners.
1422 to 2150.
2150 by.
Followed suspect to his home. He's inside now.
Okay, stay with it. 10-4.
10-4.
Stanley, is everything all right?
Sure. Told you I'd be home for dinner.
Who's he?
Oh, just a tale they put on me.
Well, what did they say?
Nothing much. They didn't have any evidence.
But they do suspect you.
Sure. They gotta do a lot more than suspect me if they want to make an arrest.
Well, you can't pull any big jobs now. They'll be watching you like a hawk.
Did you get the car?
Yes, but you don't have to take it. You didn't tell me what to get, so I told them we'd pick it up tomorrow.
We'll take it. I'll need your help in 2 cars to pull this job.
After what's happened, you're out of your mind. Oh, look, I don't want to be a waitress, but I don't want to be in jail either.
You're not gonna be in jail. All you gotta do is drive a car and mail a package. Police won't even know what happened.
As you know, there have been some safe jobs in the past few weeks. We think he's going to hit again.
Yes, I've heard about it, Mr. Matthews. But I doubt if you try ours. The only time the alarm doesn't go off is 9 in the morning and 6 at night when I open it.
We'd like to be overly cautious, and we need your help.
Certainly, whatever you want me to do.
We've talked to the other owners. They've agreed to sprinkle fluorescent powder on the money. It's kind of like marking them. It'll show up in the criminal's hands under certain light.
Well, I do have some money in the safe, but it's mostly jeweled.
It won't hurt him.
Well, glad to be of help.
I'll have the lab boys come over and fill you in. Thanks very much.
The Highway Patrol was tailing Wright around the clock. 4 days had gone by, and there was nothing unusual to report, except Wright's periodic use of a cab instead of his own car.
Your friend is still out there.
Yeah, I know. Hello, will you give me the number of the church on Highway 14, please? 6283, thank you.
Stanley, will you please tell me what you're up to?
The church is going to help me get rid of that tail. Hello? What time is your next service, please? 11:30, and how long does it last? Thank you. It's 11 now. This is going to work fine. Oh, you got the box?
Sure. Has enough postage to go to China.
Well, it's better to have too much than not enough. Oh, listen to that cab, will you? I told him to be here in a few minutes.
Why the cab?
Because we need both cars. That's why I've been taking a cab all week. Now that I really need one, they won't think anything about it. Now, when I leave, you go to that street in back of the church and wait for me. I'll duck out the back way.
How are you going to get enough time to get into the jewelry store?
Well, if everything works all right, he'll be waiting outside for me when the services are over. That gives me 45 minutes. That's more than enough time.
But then what?
I'll tell you later. Wait for me, will you? I'll be about 45 minutes. You'll see is the back of a lot of necks. Let's get going.
(1422) to headquarters.
Go ahead, 1422.
1422, follow the suspect to a church on Highway 14. Cannot see him inside. He may abduct me.
Stay there. Keep in contact. 10-4?
10-4.
Stakeout can't be sure whether he gave him the slip or not. The church is pretty crowded.
How many times did he use the cab in the past week?
4 times.
We were wondering why he was using it. Now he's hoping we're not wondering anymore.
And we can assume he ducked out of the church.
Yeah. Get an APB out and his wife. She could be involved. And I want units to cover every safe he could hit.
Right.
No, that's why I picked Sunday. Look, it's 11:35 now. Give me 3 minutes to get inside and 15 minutes to open the safe.
18 minutes.
And exactly that time, you drive by. Now, if the alarm goes off, don't let it throw you, because it's going to go off when I open that safe. But I can get out of there with the stuff in less than a minute. It'll take them 5 minutes to get here. 18 minutes.
You think of everything, Stan.
I have to.
All set?
Everything's covered except the Herbert Jewelry Store. Take us about 20 minutes to get there.
If he's going to hit, it's 2 to 1. That'll be the place. He didn't pull those small jobs for his health. Any other units nearer?
Well, the other units covering the other safes, we're the closest.
Let's go. phone company report on the Herbert Jewelry Store alarm sounding. Have all units converge on area. I'm on my way. 10-4. Establish roadblock 10 miles north and south of Herbert Jewelry Store at Highway 14. Stop every vehicle.
1422 to 2150.
2150 by.
1422. Church service is still going on. Should be over in about 15 minutes.
He ducked you, there's no doubt about it. Couldn't be anybody else. Stand by.
10-4.
Can't have missed him by more than a couple of minutes. Let's go.
You're under arrest, Mr. Wright.
282 to 2150.
2150 by.
Have apprehended suspect's wife with the package at corner of Pine and Elm.
Hold there, we're on our way. 10-4.
10-4.
2150 to 1422.
Mr. Wright? Highway Patrol. We'd like to question you.
What's the matter? Another safe been robbed?
No, I just want to talk to you.
Always glad to cooperate with the police.
There's my car.
Just a minute. Yeah, buddy, I won't need you anymore.
Just a minute.
All part of the service?
That's right.
Enjoyed the sermon, right?
Fine. Should have heard it.
Let me see your hands. Give me the light.
Fluorescent powder's used for a lot of things.
Yeah, it sure is. It's all over your wife's hands in the package you didn't get the mail.
Honey, I knew it wouldn't work. I told you we couldn't get away with it.
You should have stayed and listened to the sermon. Take him away. See Highway Patrol again next week. Until then, remember, reckless driving doesn't determine who's right, only who's left. This is Roderick Crawford saying, see you next week.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Crime is an everlasting enemy. Like a disease, one never knows when it will strike or who its victims will be. It can only be controlled by the constant vigil of law enforcement. On June 2nd, 3 penny ante hoodlums devised a hit-and-miss hold-up method that caused the highway patrol to jump from one county to another in their pursuit. Though created by amateurs, their method of operation showed a professional touch. A detour sign across a road led their intended victims into a carefully planned trap.
The report on that robbery that came in an hour ago, did you check it out?
Yeah, same as before. 3 of them yesterday, 1 already this morning. You know, must be the same guys. 2 of them in police uniforms.
Get the file, we'll go over the MO again.
Okay, Casey, turn her over. We got one. Why don't you put these things on straight? There he goes. Let's go.
This is all we got on them so far.
They sure cover a lot of territory. All we got is a description of one guy.
Yeah, about 25, 6 feet tall, 175 pounds, dark. That's not much to go on. Wonder why we can't get a description of the driver of the hold-up car.
You looked at the MO with me. The driver doesn't participate in the holdup. Did you check the hotels and motels in that area?
Yeah, thoroughly. No sign.
I don't get this. They gotta be eating and sleeping someplace.
All right, here. That's the spot to hit this morning.
You sure pick deserted spots, don't they? Notify the units in that area to be on the lookout for him.
All right, give me your wallet. Okay, mister. Listen good. I want you to turn around and walk into that brush. Now, come on, what are you waiting for? Turn faster than that. And remember, no mistakes. All right, stay there. Okay, let's go.
Change of clothes. Aren't we going to pull another one today?
Your brother just changed his mind.
Why? What's wrong, Nicky?
Nothing. Can a guy change his mind? I just don't want to push our luck, that's all. That job this afternoon was a waste of time for what we got. I want to wait a while and see what happens.
Wait for what? What do you want to wait for?
Lay off, Casey. Just sore because we got stiffed this afternoon. The guy had no money and he swallowed it all.
You know, Nicky, I'm beginning to wonder whether it's all worth it. 5 jobs in 2 days and $120 between us. Freddie could do better playing poker.
Yeah, you know something? I think I could.
All right. You do what you want. Get off my back.
So the guy can't talk anymore.
Did Nicky tell you I found a gun in the glove compartment?
Yeah, he's got it on him now.
I don't like that.
Why? What's the difference? Gun or knife?
A lot of difference. It's easier to pull a trigger than to shove a knife.
It's like he told me. It's going to make it easier in the fields. This business of knocking people over the head and then running, it's risky. You heard what happened this afternoon.
Yeah, I know. He told me. The guy threw a rock at him and just missed him. Freddie, do you think he told us everything that happened?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. Maybe I ought to go out and talk to him.
Nah, just let him cool down.
4110 just located a car with a man slumped over the wheel, dead, even bludgeoned, the car ransacked. They're at Maricopa Highway and Brandview Lane.
Okay, let's go. Have 4110 wait for us.
Right. Headquarters to 4110.
What's the name of this game?
Oh, no, not again. You know, I'm not lucky in love because I married you. I'm not lucky in cars because you keep winning all the time.
All right, we're getting out of here.
Where are we going?
We're getting out of the state.
Getting out of the state, what for? We haven't made a dent in this one yet.
What's wrong, Nicky? Did something happen on that last job that we ought to know?
Nothing. I just want to get out of here, that's all.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Casey. Come on, you better get up front. Let's roll.
Okay. Could I ask this temperamental genius where we're going?
Here's where we are right now. You go down here till you get to this road, and you turn right, and you stay on this road till it's dark.
Okay.
How'd you happen to find him?
I heard the horn blowing from the highway. He was dead when I got here.
Garvey says he turned on the road here when he heard this horn blowing.
You say when it snapped?
Yeah, about 10 minutes after he reported in.
You check the clothes, see what you can find. I'm going to take a look around. Oh, get me the make of the battery, will you?
No identification, but I got the make of the battery.
What about the registration?
Couldn't find any, or the keys to the car.
By the looks of that trail, he was hit out there in the field and he dragged himself to the car. Take a look back there. Tire tracks, but they turned around and went out.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Well, it's the same MO. You better stay here till the coroner and lab boys get here. Put this in the car.
Right.
$21.50 to headquarters.
Headquarters by?
My 1020, Brandview Lane and Maricopa Highway. Get the lab boys out here right away. Check DMV. Get me what you can on license. 3 Paul 1832. 10-4?
3 Paul 1832. 10-4.
Let's go, Ken. I'll drive.
What are you stopping here for?
Because I'm hungry. And I'm not going to keep driving till dark and then cook when we stop.
Did your case is joined yet?
We're lucky to find food here. It's so quiet.
All right. Wait in here. We'll get you something to eat.
Take a look at this. 3 jobs in one day. And now this. Here's the one this morning. Here's the second one.
These two are pretty close together. You think they'll try one more job in the same area?
Well, I'm counting on them to try it again.
You may be right. They seem to pull 3 in the same territory.
Yeah. Get me the Maricopa County Maintenance Department, will you?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to try something. I hope it works. If we can locate their next job, I'm going in as bait. I'll use an undercover car.
Well, how are you going to locate their next job?
Look, Ken, it's a big time lapse. The victim has to walk from the field back to his car. When he gets to the car, the keys are gone. That means he's got to get to a phone. That could be miles away.
Yeah, that takes time. But how do we find them before the next holdup?
We're going to use detour signs. Pretty soon, every legal detour will be right on its board, right here.
Oh, I see what you mean. Every time a patrol car spots a detour sign, they call in.
Yeah, that's right. If they check out, it's okay. If not, we know the boys are at it again. Did you get him yet?
Got Mr. Hedges on the line.
Thanks. Mr. Hedges, this is Matthews, Highway Patrol. You give me a list of roads that need detours, will you, please? How long would it take to put a go-slow sign on them? No, Mr. Hedges, believe me, it's very important to me. What's that? Okay, thanks very much. I'll send a man over to get the list.
What can I do for you?
Let me see here. I'll have number 5, please.
You don't mind waiting a little while? I'm the only one here today. Gentleman over there just put in a big order.
No, not at all. I'm in no hurry.
Okay, thank you.
Say, if you're not reading that, may I borrow it?
Sure.
Thanks. How far is it to Maricopa City?
Oh, about 14 miles.
That's the best way to go.
Well, there's only one way to go, right down this road. That's 520. Thank you. 520 out of 6. During the day, there isn't much traffic on it. That's why I'm short-handed. Nights are when I do my business. Trucks, you know.
See that guy that just came in?
Yeah, why?
Got a plan. We got ourselves a good one. This time we make a real killing.
The erratic method of the amateur hoodlum is a serious problem to all law enforcement agencies. They have no dread so great as the amateur with a gun, coupled with the lack of knowledge that goes with it. For this combination can be a sure mixture for death.
3480 just located a detour sign with a slow sign attached. Their 1020 is Burnside and Woodland. I've got them standing by.
Okay. Find anything?
Yeah, the victim's name was Denton. He had a wife and 2 kids.
Wife been notified?
Yeah, she's taking it pretty hard. She told the policewoman he always carried a gun in the glove compartment.
Hello, Anne. This is Janet. I'm sorry to bother you, but I wonder if you could do me a favor. My wreck of a car broke down, and it'll take hours to fix. Yeah, same trouble I had before. I have to get into town. Anne, could you come down and pick me up and drive me in? Oh, no. Oh, well, that's all right. No, thanks anyway. Bye.
What can I do for you, miss?
Oh, when does the next bus stop here going to Maricopa City?
Oh, you just missed it, miss. There won't be another one by for almost 3 hours.
Oh, nothing, thanks.
Excuse me, miss. Please don't think I'm forward, but I overheard your conversation. It seems you're anxious to get into Maricopa City. Happen to be going that way. Be glad to give you a ride in.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. You sure it won't be putting you out of your way?
No, not at all, I assure you. It's a pleasure.
Here, lady. Maybe that'll help.
Thank you.
The rest of your order will be ready in a minute.
I think I dropped my compact someplace. I'll be right back.
There's the last word from the lab.
Any prints?
It's a woman's prints.
Checking them?
Well, they're running them through now. We ran that battery test like you suggested.
So, what'd you find out?
We checked the horn against the same type battery, and it hung on for 45 minutes. Now, Denton's horn stopped blowing 10 minutes after the body was found. It was 1:05. We can figure the horn was blowing about 35 minutes before that.
That'd make it about 12:30, right?
And it should be. When they pulled their first job at 11 o'clock, we can assume this one happened somewhere between 12 and 12:30. I hate to admit it, but I think they could be out of the area by now.
How many detour signs left on the board?
9.
.4110 to headquarters.
The headquarters by.
Just located a detour sign without a slow sign attached. My 1020 is 1/2 mile west of Bruce Canyon on Silsby Road.
Stand by, 4110.
Hey, take a look at this.
Is it spotted on the board?
No. I'll see if the maintenance department's missed one.
You got that reporting car standing by?
Yes, sir.
Tell them to block the road. Let nobody near the detour. We're on our way out. Undercover car.
Right. You got no signs in the area.
Come on, let's go.
Wonder what's keeping her. I don't like this, Freddie. Not one car has passed since we've been here. I don't like things that aren't planned ahead.
I suppose if you'd have planned this, everything would have been okay. Because I figured it out, it's all wrong.
Get this straight, Freddie. I don't care who thought up the job. As long as it's done the same as before. Too much time has passed since our last job. Too much time.
Phil, I wonder what...
Let me do all the talking, understand?
What is this?
Just keep quiet and you won't get hurt.
Sorry, folks. The road's blocked off.
But, officer, I just live a short way past the detour sign.
Sorry, miss. My instructions are not to let anyone through. Now, if you'll turn around and go back down this road 1/4 mile, turn right. Follow that road to the end. It joins the speedway for 4 miles. It'll bring you back to this road further up.
But, officer, my house is right down this road.
Well, I'm sorry, miss, but those are my instructions. Now, you can make a U-turn right here.
You got anything for us at all?
No, but a funny thing just happened. Only one car came by, the car that just passed you. When the guy drove off, he threw his wallet out.
Take a look. Okay, says there's over $200 here. He say anything to you?
No, but there was a woman with him. She did all the talking.
No? What do you figure?
You think our detour sign has anything to do with it?
I don't know. It's a blue convertible, you say, huh?
That's right.
I'll alert the other units. 2150 to headquarters. Be on the lookout for Harvey Talbot. He's 51 years of age, 5 feet 10 and a half, about 182 pounds, gray hair and blue eyes. Now his operator's license number, V for Victor, 128613. 10-4?
10-4.
Come on, Ken, let's check that detour road.
I think I hear a car coming. She was supposed to move the sign, but she's still in the car. Maybe he wouldn't let her out.
She's got the gun. She can get out any time.
I don't like it, Nicky. Let's stay here.
Come on, let's go.
All right, give me the keys. I came through a dirt crossroad. The cops are wise.
How do you know?
I talked to one of them. They got the road blocked.
All right, you out of the car.
What are you going to do?
I'm taking him with us. You're right, and the cops are wise, and he's our free ride. They'll let us through, and he's had it.
Nicky, it's the cops! The cops!
All right, go ahead. Chill it. Chill it. Chill it.
Nicky, run for it!
Hold it right there!
I had nothing to do with this. They practically kidnapped me.
Check the roadblock. See they pick up the other guy. Where's your driver's license?
It's in my wallet. I threw it out of the car. I thought maybe...
Is this it right here?
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Well, officer, I had a date with this man, and my brother here, he
Yeah,
came
sure,
along.
I know.
Pick up the other guy at the roadblock. Look, you got nothing on us.
No? We will have in a minute. Here, cuff him. I'll send for an ambulance. See Highway Patrol again next week. Until then, remember, reckless driving doesn't determine who's right, only who's left. This is Roderick Crawford saying, see you next week.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. communications keep the Highway Patrol in constant touch with its field of activity. Incoming calls concern violations of traffic laws, accidents on the highway, fugitives at large. On the morning of September 9th, still another kind of telephone call was received, an anonymous one.
Highway Patrol, Sergeant Milan. It's for you.
I'll take it here. Dan Matthews here.
Here's a tip for you, Matthews. You'd better round up Johnny Barr and all these men. They're planning a murder. A big one.
Trace this call. Speak up a little bit, will you? I think we got a bad connection.
I said Johnny Barr is planning a murder. You better apprehend him at once.
Who's the victim supposed to be?
I don't know.
What did you say your name was again?
I'm sorry, I cannot reveal that.
Then I'm afraid we can't help you.
You've been warned, Matthews. You might regret it if you fail to act on this call.
Look, we get 100 calls a day from crackpots.
I'm not a crackpot. I know what I'm talking about. Now, you've got to believe me. You've got to stop Johnny Barr before it's too late.
What do you got? Come on, come on, come on. That's a big help. A phone booth on 3rd and Center.
What was it?
Oh, it's a tip that Johnny Barr's out gunning for somebody.
Well, that's a story of his life. If he could just prove it.
Said it was going to be a big one. Can't afford to ignore it. You know, Barr might have a reason. He's the main target for the new crime commission.
You think it could be someone connected with the crime commission?
We're going to have to find out. Joe, get me the mugshots and the records and anybody known to be working with Johnny Barr, will you?
They may not all show up in the files. The Barr might have a couple of clean ones on the payroll.
City PD intelligence will have a record if anybody does. You know, Barr's too cagey to let this kind of news get around. Either that call was from one of Barr's men or it's a phony. We're going to have to find out which. Look, get me a list of all the cars registered to Barr and his playmates, will you? Hurry it up. We'll assume the tip was on the level and from somebody in Barr's outfit. Now, if his motive was to protect the intended victim, he'd have told us who he was, wouldn't he? Is that right?
So far.
All right, he's got to have another reason. Or maybe he's never been mixed up in a murder before and he doesn't want to start now.
Well, I don't know. These boys are all seasoned veterans. They don't stack up.
Who in Barr's outfit does stack up? All I could find are these two here. Powers and Graham. That's right. Both clean, no criminal record. They stand to lose their valuable reputation if Barr decides to get rough. You know, the guy on the phone didn't talk like a hoodlum. He used words like, I can't reveal, apprehend. Very well educated. Could be a lawyer or a high-priced accountant.
It's almost got to be one of them.
Yeah, we got to be sure which one. If we talk to the wrong guy, he's liable to tip Barr off. We can't stop a guy from being murdered if we don't know who he is, can we? I'll tell you what I want you to do. Have Graham and Powers' tail. See if you can find out what they did in the past 24 hours. Here's the report on Powers. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Goes to his office every morning, keeps banker's hours 10 to 3. Then he goes home. Quite a family man, it says right here. I'll bet you his wife doesn't know he's mixed up with the biggest crime syndicate in the state.
This just came in on Graham.
Oh? Well, this clears Barr's lawyer. Graham's in Chicago, been there for a week. Now, this might not mean anything, but that phone call was made right here, 3rd and Center. Powers passes that way every day on his way home. Get me an appointment with Powers this afternoon away from his office, huh? Oh, here's your pencil. I'm Dan Matthews.
What's this all about, Matthews? Why all the secrecy?
Mr. Powers, if you're the man who made the anonymous phone call, you'd understand why I couldn't meet you in your office.
Phone call?
Yeah, that's right. Somebody called to warn me that Johnny Barr was going to commit a murder.
Johnny Barr? The only thing I know about Johnny Barr is one of my firm's clients.
Yeah, we know that. We also know for a long time he's been making a bid for respectability. Wants to invest in legitimate business through a big accounting firm so his money can't be traced.
Now, just a minute, Matthews. Are you accusing me?
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just saying if you made the phone call...
It'd be ridiculous.
The phone call was made from 3rd and Center Street at 3:15. You pass that way every day on your way home.
Well, so do hundreds of other people. How do you know what I do every day?
You've been under observation.
You've been having me followed?
That's right.
I'm getting up.
Wait a minute before you go. Let me tell you something. If Barr commits this murder, I promise you we'll find out who made the phone call. You know what that means? It means the informer had prior knowledge of the murder. And if you made that phone call, Mr. Powers, you'll be an accessory. An accessory to murder. Now figure out what that means. Think of the headlines, your social position, your business. But most of all, think of your family.
All right, Matthews. I made that call.
All right, fine. Whose bar got pegged?
I don't know.
Powers, you've gone this far. Why don't you tell me the truth?
I don't know, I swear. He wouldn't tell me who it was.
Why'd you make the call?
Barr was getting me into something deeper than just keeping books for him.
How?
By making me have a meeting with the boys right in my own office. He said it was safer there. Now, look. They're having a meeting tonight. I can find out who it is, give you a report on it. Tell you exactly what the plan is. If you'll give me police protection.
All right, I guarantee you protection.
As soon as you get the accident reports in, call it a day. It wasn't heavy, was it? Good. I'll okay it today. Matthews might not be back in time. Hold it a minute. Was it Powers?
Yeah, and I want to talk to you when you're through.
Matthews just came in. Put the reports on my desk so I'm not there. What happened?
Oh, it was Powers, all right, and he's scared stiff. He's in a lot deeper than he thought he was.
Did you find out who Barr's after?
No, that's the trouble. Powers says he doesn't know. And he would have told me if he did. I got to go along with him and believe him.
What about Powers now?
Well, I guaranteed him protection for 24 hours a day. I want to make sure he gets it till the whole thing is cleared up.
He's had it since your meeting was set up. It'll continue.
All right, our next problem is to figure out the guy that Barr's going to murder.
It doesn't look like such an easy job. A big-time racketeer makes enemies fast.
Yeah, and a sharp operator like Barr, well, he's not going to endanger his whole organization. Now, if he's going to use murder, well, the stakes might be pretty high.
Did Powers offer any information at all?
No, but he's going to be at the meeting.
And a Barr might mention the man's name he's gunning for.
Yeah, that's right. And if he doesn't, well, Powers will tip us off anyway. There's only one thing that bothers me. Powers is scared.
He has reason to be, if Barr finds out what he's done. I hope he doesn't give himself away. You know, Barr wouldn't wait to plan his murder. He'd empty his gun in him right there. It's like you said. We can't keep a person from being murdered unless we know who he is.
Yeah, that's right. Look, I'll tell you what I want you to do. I want you to put a tail on Powers' family for 24 hours a day. Now, when I talked to him, he didn't mention anything about his family. He was too upset to think clearly.
Right. He'll have full surveillance. Anything else?
No, I just want to go through these. I'll be out in a couple of minutes. We'll go over some more stuff.
We've got trouble, boys. We've got a crusader out to get us. And if he gets that crime commission set up, he'll blast our operation wide open. You've got to have time. At least 2 months to cover up our tracks. And there's only one way we can get that time. Is to stop Senator Day. And there's only one way to stop him. It's a big gamble either way. We leave the senator alone, we'll all be on the inside looking out. And if we stop him, the public will kick up a storm. That's the chance we've got to take. We've got to have time. So you boys will leave for the Capitol tonight. The day after tomorrow, the 11th. The senator's due to come here to set up the commission officially. He'll name the members who are going to work under him. They'll have a meeting. And the whole deal will be in operation. We can't let him get here. Lefty, you take the airport. And if he gets on a plane, see that he don't get off alive. And if he should decide to come by train, it'll be up to you, Ed. You know what he looks like. You'll have plenty of time to get to him on the train. I've got a tail on him down at the Capitol already, just in case he decides to leave early. Or if he should take the highway, he'll be followed. I'll work out the plans and details for you, Hank. The highway will be your department. Now, we won't know until the last minute just which way the senator's going to come. So you'll all keep in touch with me by phone. I'll clear all calls and coordinate the operation from here, this place. Any questions? All right, then get going. What are you so nervous about?
Well, how do you expect me to act? I don't like having meetings in my office.
You like handling my money, don't you? You like your fee.
That's not the point.
Makes sense to me. It's about time you got your hands on something else beside my bankroll. Now you know where the stuff's coming from.
Come on.
Okay. I carried out my end of the bargain. You're going to pick him up?
He hasn't committed a murder yet. He only talked about it.
Yeah, but you heard him. You heard him plan the whole thing. Surely you're going to arrest him at least for conspiracy.
Wouldn't hold without an overt act. Look, the law's been trying to indict Bob for years. When I pick him up, it's not going to be for a 2-week vacation.
Well, what about me? You promised me protection. Johnny will kill me if he finds out.
I promise you, he won't find out. Unless you tell him. Wrap it up. And I think you're afraid to talk.
Senator Day was warned of Johnny Barr's plot to kill him. But the determined enemy of crime had refused to be intimidated on the grounds that any change in his plans would be a concession to crime. He was determined to be at the meeting to formulate his crime commission on schedule. And now it was up to the Highway Patrol to get him there, alive. Johnny Barr's men were placed at strategic positions along the highway. Positions arranged to permit an elaborate communication setup, which was to tell them of the escort caravan's every move, if the highway was used. Taking into account all possible moves by Barr, a decoy plan was immediately put into effect. The car that Barr was tailing turned off, changing its direction to the highway, while the decoy car continued on to the airport.
Pick up that squad car.
I thought we were going to the airport.
That's what I hope Barr thinks, too. I'd head for the highway.
Headquarters of 3200.
Car 3200.
Go ahead, 3200.
3200. We've made the switch. We're turning off Orchid Street into Leonard Avenue. We picked up the new escort. Car 54 as planned at Leonard and Fuller. We are now headed for the highway.
Barr's own strategy was also well devised. They were aware of the switch to the highway. But the patrol was prepared for this, too. The problem was now out in the open.
Hello? Yeah? Oh, they made a switch, huh? What time? Check.
Hello? Yeah. Oh? Well, you know what to do. Get going. pulling a switch. They sent a decoy to the airport, then took off on the highway. Almost like they've been tipped off.
Tip off? How could there have been? Probably just taking normal precautions.
Maybe.
Hank, they're coming down the highway now. They ought to be past here in about 10 minutes.
Then ought to put them past here about 11:30. We'll be ready. Start her up.
Car 3200 to
headquarters.
3200, bye.
3200. We're now on the highway, traveling east at 50 miles an hour. Car 91 is behind us. Car 54 in front of us. Car 78 is cruising a 20-mile area further down.
What about the switch?
3200. Didn't work. They're still in back of us. Between us and car 91. 10-4. 10-4.
Don't get too close to them, or they'll spot us.
Hey, that's a fancy-looking car. I'd like to have a hot rod like that.
Pick it up a little. We're almost at Hank's location. We're too far behind.
Car 3200 to car 78. Anything ahead of us looks out of line?
Car 78 to car 3200. We haven't seen a thing. We're cruising a 20-mile area and it looks clean.
Keep your eyes open.
Car 78 to car 3200. 10-4.
Headquarters at 3200.
3200.
I'm worried about the hoods behind you. Do you want me to have 91 pull them over?
3200, no. I'll call car 91 myself and have them pull the car over as soon as we get out of this area.
Right. Any change in position?
3200. Still the same, except we're a few miles further along.
10-4.
10-4.
Car 3200 to car 91. How's everything behind us?
Car 91 to car 3200. You've still got your tail.
Yeah, I know. I get a glimpse of them every now and then.
Thought they were going to move in on you a while ago, but they're still hanging back.
All right, look, let's not press our luck. Pull them over and check them out, but be careful. These boys might play rough.
Car 91 to car 3200. 10-4. This one might be rough, boys.
Hey, that car's after us.
Step on it. We'll lose them.
Not so fast. We've got a job to do. We don't want any trouble now. Maybe we'll get away with just the ticket.
All right, boys, let's don't try anything we'll be sorry for. Let's see those hands as you get out. Come on.
Maybe we'll get off with a ticket.
Headquarters to 3200. Anything new?
Car 91 is overhauling the hoods. We're tailing me. More later.
Car 91 to car 3200. We made a clean sweep, and they were carrying an arsenal.
Car 3200 to car 91. That's good work, boys. See what you can get out of them. We want to pin this one on Johnny Bob for sure.
Headquarters 3200. What area are you in now?
3200, 3 or 4 miles this side of Beckett County.
He'll be approaching an S-shaped bend in the road shortly. It's a likely spot for him to try something. Be careful. 10-4.
10-4.
Feels better without him breathing down the back of my neck, doesn't it?
Be ready to move this heap across the road in a hurry.
I hope the boys are on time. I sure hate to handle this job, just the two of us.
No, don't worry. They'll be right behind the caravan. All right, start her up.
Hey, you hear that?
Get ready to pull across the road. Hold it, false alarm.
That's one patrol car out of our hair. That guy will keep them busy all the way to the city.
All right, you know what to do, and do it fast.
Hey, it's a roadblock. Spin it around.
Something must have happened to the boys.
Car 3200 to car 45. Get back here quick. We hit a roadblock.
Let's make a break for the car.
Car 3200 to car 54. Pull over and wait for us. We're headed your way. You men take care of things here. Get the truck off the highway. We'll pick up 54 down the road. They'll take us in. Take off. Get that man to a hospital right away.
Sorry, somebody had to get hurt.
That's a chance you take on a job like this. But don't worry, he's not hurt very bad. Oh, tell me, Senator, how was your ride?
Well, I won't recommend a speed like that, but that's the most fun I've had since I was a kid.
You're doing town in about 15 minutes, Senator. If you leave now, we can still make it. Let's go.
I don't understand it. Should have been all over by now.
Maybe something went wrong.
What could go wrong? I had it covered from every angle. It was a cinch.
You, Mr. Powers?
Yes.
You're in bad company.
What's the idea of barging in here?
Didn't work, Johnny.
What are you talking about?
Attempted murder is Senator Day. That's good enough, isn't it? Now, don't try to deny it. One of your boys talked. You overplayed your hand this time. Oh, another thing I want to tell you. Senator Day's Crime Commission went into session 15 minutes ago.
That's supposed to thrill me?
Yeah, it should. You're number one on the agenda. All right, take him away. Mr. Powers, we're going to need you for information. I'd advise you to continue to cooperate. The Highway Patrol story next week is a very unusual one. We hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, the clowns at the circus, they're real funny. But on the highway, they're murder. This is Roderick Crawford saying see you next week.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Knowledge of a criminal's method of operation, MO, is a major element in law enforcement. The rapid analysis and distribution to all police agencies of any newly discovered MO is of the utmost importance. Through the last few months, 2 men specializing in market robberies used an MO with a new and vicious angle. To ensure cooperation of the store manager, a member of his family was held at gunpoint by one of the men, while the other committed the robbery. The robbery completed, the criminals made good use of their hostage, taking her to a spot on a lonely road, necessitating at least a 20-minute walk to the nearest telephone, giving them ample time to return to their own car and close out their trail.
Highway Patrol. A robbery? Yes, ma'am. What's your name, please?
Lewis. Mrs. Harvey Lewis. There were 2 men. One of them forced his way into my home and held me at gunpoint. The other went to my husband's store and demanded money. They threatened to kill me if he didn't hand it over.
How long ago, Mrs. Lewis? Headquarters at 2150.
2150 by.
A robbery near your 1020. Mrs. Harvey Lewis reports that 2 men robbed the Lewis Market by holding her hostage. They just released her. She's in a phone booth now at Colton Road and Brandon.
Got the description?
Yes, between 35 and 40. One is 5 foot 10 and a half, brown-haired, brown suit and hat. The other has dark hair, is dark-complected, 5'9", gray suit and gray hat. They're driving a 4-door sedan, 2-tone dark blue.
Get on an APB. We're going to pick up Mrs. Lewis. 10-4?
10-4.
Matthews, Highway Patrol.
I'm certainly glad to see you, Mr. Matthews. It was awful.
What happened?
Well, my doorbell rang. And when I answered it, a man shoved a gun in my face. He told me not to scream or he'd kill me. I was so frightened I didn't know what to do. He came right in the house.
All right, then what?
Then he asked for the phone. Said we wait for a call.
How long did you wait?
Oh, I'm not sure. About 15 minutes, I guess. When the phone rang, he answered it. Then he handed it to me and shoved a gun against my head. The call was from my husband.
And there was a man in his office demanding money?
Yes. Harvey had over $7,000 in the safe, he said. The man took it all. Then he had Harvey and me talk to each other on the phone until I heard a horn honk outside. Then he grabbed the phone and told Harvey we were leaving.
Did he look outside first?
No.
Well, they must have had a prearranged signal. You remember hearing anything unusual?
I think there were 2 short beeps, a pause, and another beep. I'm not sure.
Uh-huh. Then they took you out to the car.
They drove me here and let me off about a half a mile up the road.
And while you ran to the phone, they drove away. It's the same pattern as the 2 yesterday.
Yeah, it's almost identical. Where do you live, Mrs. Lewis?
520 Hillview.
$21.50 to headquarters.
Headquarters, bye.
Have one of the boys meet me at 520 Hillview. 10-4?
10-4.
Oh, boy. Sure was a ripe one.
Better than I expected. You know, With yesterday's take, this is the best 2 days' work we put in?
It's not over yet.
So all we have to do now is count.
When they brought you out to the car, where was it parked?
Right there.
And you came out the front door and into the car.
That's right.
Mrs. Lewis and I will look inside. You go to the market, see what you can find. Bring Mr. Lewis to headquarters. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
I'd like to have you and your husband look at some pictures. If you can identify him, it'd help us a lot.
We'll be more than glad to do anything we can.
All right, fine. Let's go inside, then we'll go to headquarters.
What's the next job worth?
Oh, I don't know. The last time I was through here, I think I cased it for about 10 grand.
And it's all set up waiting for us. All we got to do is go through the same old motions.
That's my point. We've been going through the same old motions for quite a while now. You know, you've got to give the cops some credit. They're smart.
They never even get close to us.
Well, they're closer to us now than when we first started.
How do you figure that?
Look, they trade information. They stack it up. They study it. Every time we pull a job, they learn a little bit more about us. All of them.
Like what? All they get is the word from some scared dame. The trail always dead ends at a stolen car.
So far. But you mark my word. One of these days, some smart cop's going to come along and get the jump on us.
I doubt it. But if it ever does happen, remember, we've always got the wife.
I got Lewis started on a mug file. Mrs. Lewis is about halfway through. Nothing yet. You find anything at the house?
I don't know. Here, take a look at this. They start off in the east, 4 jobs. Hide out for 2 weeks. They show up in the south, 5 jobs. Hide out for 2 weeks again, and show up here, 4 jobs.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Come here to the map. Yesterday, a marker was knocked off right here. Another one right in here. Today, the Lewis marker was knocked off. I figured we got one more hack at them. Right around in here, this area.
If they stick to their MO.
Yeah, I hope they do, because if they hide out again, we're going to have to start from scratch.
How do you crack an MO when the victims are afraid to notify us the whole thing's over?
All we end up with is a stolen car.
Incidentally, the owner of that car they stole this morning still hasn't reported the theft. Now, sometimes people surprise me. They park their cars, leave them wide open, never bother to check.
Wait a minute. That could be the answer. Let's check their MO. They start off with a stolen car. We could find out about it soon enough. That could be our break. Alert all TV and radio stations in the area.
I'll have a warning out every 15 minutes on every station. The public gets nervous enough about their cars and might get a real fast report.
Right.
Sure, you're the thinker, Rolly. You call the shots. That's our deal. But let's not pass up 10 grand. It's a cinch. We haven't even seen a cop yet.
Okay. I agree with you. It's too good to pass up. Why don't we do it when we're going out of town?
What are we waiting for? Let's check out.
Wait a minute. You keep that manager occupied while I pull the registration card. You know, I almost got caught the last time.
Okay.
All the stations are cooperating. It'll announce it every 15 minutes for the next 3 hours.
Well, that ought to do it. Matthews. Okay, keep on it. No luck from the motels yet.
You think they could be driving in from the nearby town?
Have them covered.
Unaware that the Highway Patrol was at this moment asking the citizens of a town to keep a sharp eye on their automobiles, the so far successful criminals, intent on one more job, started step 1 of their operation, a stolen car.
2110 to headquarters.
Headquarters, bye.
We're in luck. I think I found something. Steele's Motel. 2 men answering the description stayed here last night. Checked out about 30 minutes ago.
This is Matthews. Stand by till I get there. 10-4?
10-4.
Hold it. We got something. Mrs. Lewis picked him out. She says she's positive. Name's Jack Rucker.
Rucker. You know those 2 gals were here the other day?
Yeah.
Call them back, see if they can verify it. Oh, what's he wanted for?
Murder. And he's the one that held the gun on her.
We better pick this guy up and fast. I'll see you at the car. Which room is it?
Room 2.
Find anything interesting?
No, the lab boys are on the way out. Maybe they can pick up some prints.
Dennis talked to the manager, but she wasn't much help.
And why not?
She can't find the register card. She's still looking.
5 will get you 10. One of our playmates pulled it.
Since they checked out, do you think it means they're going to leave town while I pull another job?
I don't know. They left early. They got plenty of time to pull a job.
Lab boys will be here any minute. I'll get Dennis back on the beat.
Okay.
All right, Miss Watson. Just quiet down now and you won't get hurt.
What do you want?
You'll find out. Meanwhile, don't try anything funny, or you won't live a split second. Quiet, be quiet. Now listen to what I have to say very, very carefully.
As Dan Matthews drove back to Highway Patrol headquarters, a few miles away in a quiet neighborhood, the vicious robbery scheme he had hoped to intercept was already well underway.
You better sit down, Mrs. Austin. You're awful scared, and I don't want you passing out. You're going to have to talk when the time comes, and I want you to talk awful good.
Anything yet?
No, just a crank and a false alarm. Here's a list of the market managers and their home addresses.
Yeah, that's quite a list.
That just includes the markets in this quadrant. You still think that's where they'll hit?
I don't know. They haven't worked that area yet, and the motel's right on the edge right here.
You know, knowing where they'd pick up a car would sure help us.
Let's see. They've been out about an hour. If we're going to get the action, we should get it pretty soon.
Well, I've got units in all the key streets.
Did you tell them when and if we get a report to check the market lots first?
Yeah.
Highway Patrol Larrabee. Yes, ma'am. Can you describe the car, please? And the license number? Mr. Matthews, I think we have the real thing this time.
Thanks. 2150 to all units. Stolen car. Black 4-door sedan, white sidewall tires. License. Nora X-ray 246.
It was stolen not over 30 minutes ago from the curb in front of 210 Maple Avenue.
Let's see, 210 Maple. That's not too far from the motel and shopping center.
Looks like your guess was a good one.
Let's take up a position in between. Come on, let's go.
We're going to get a phone call any minute now, Mrs. Austin, from your husband.
Bill, how do you know that?
Because he'll be worried about you. And he's got good reason to be worried about you, doesn't he? If he doesn't do exactly what he's told, I'm going to shoot you.
But why? Why? Please, what's this all about?
Money. If we get it, you'll be all right. If we don't, I'm going to shoot you. Now, that's the truth. You tell it to Bill when he calls.
$21.10 to $21.50.
2150 by.
I spotted the stolen car. It's parked at Hughes Market.
Stake it out and keep me informed. 10-4?
10-4.
Here it is. Hughes Market Manager William Austin, 414 Salem Place.
Mr. Austin?
Yes?
This is a stick-up. Now, before you do anything rash, I suggest you call your wife.
What? My wife? What is this, a joke of some kind?
Call your wife. I don't think you're going to find this a bit funny at all.
I'll get it. Never mind who this is. Just talk to your wife.
Bill? Oh, Bill. Bill. I don't know who he is, but he has a gun and it's pointed right at me. I don't know. Bill, he says if you don't do exactly as you're told, he'll shoot me. Oh, honey, what?
What do you want?
Well, it's like I said, Mr. Austin. This is a stick-up. Instead of holding the gun on you, we hold it on your wife. We find it works better that way.
Ruth. Now, don't be afraid, honey. They want money, that's all. I'm going to give them every cent that's here. Now, you tell him that. He won't hurt you, honey. Just do as he says, and don't be afraid. I'm going now to get the money. You tell him.
Philip. Hello, Mrs. Austin. Let me talk to my partner, please. Oh, I'm Mr. Austin. All of it.
Yeah? Okay. Everything's fine here. She'll be hanging on the line. Just hold this. Your husband's a little busy now, but he'll be back. He's kind of worried about you.
What part of the house you figure they're in?
Well, the living room. That's where he held the rest of them. I wonder if we can sneak up there without being seen.
That's going to be no cinch.
Maybe we can use that hedge to hide behind over there.
Yeah, if I go along the hedge, underneath that window, I could make it to the front door. Shall I give it a try?
No. Let's wait for the other unit. I want to get a closer look at that house.
There's over $11,000 there. That's all there is.
Fine, Mr. Austin. Fine.
Now, you tell that man to release my wife.
Well, not just yet.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a little matter of our getting away. We don't want the police to be involved in this until we put some distance behind us.
If anything happens to my wife...
Well, whatever happens to your wife, Mr. Austin, is entirely up to you. Now, I'm going out that door. I suggest you get on that phone and stay on it. Because, you know, my partner gets awfully nervous if that connection is broken. Oh, and if you doubt whether my partner is still there with a gun, ask your wife.
Ruth? $21.10 to $21.50.
$21.50 by.
Man with a briefcase just came out of the market and got in the stolen car. He's driving off now.
All right, tail him. Keep me informed. I want to be sure he's our boy. 10-4?
10-4.
Well, the other guy just left the market.
That gives us about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can't let Mrs. Austin get on the road with these guys. She's a building hostage. Too risky.
We can intercept the car.
Well, the timing has to be exact. If this guy gets an idea something's wrong, she's had it.
Well, how are we going to get her away from him? Whatever we try will be rugged.
We're going to have to pick him up coming up the front door, that's all.
Well, we probably have her in front of him.
We'll have to think up something to distract him.
You think it might be better to wait till they drop the woman, then pick him up?
Well, they can spot us. It's easy for them. There's one thing for sure, and I'll tell you this right now. They don't expect us to show up here.
$21.10 to $21.50.
$21.50 by.
I think he spotted me. speeding up.
All right. Let him think he lost you. Then try and catch up again, but make it look good. 10-4?
10-4. This is 2110. It worked. I lost him at Temple and Barnum. He's headed your way.
10-4.
Looks like he's our man.
Yeah. We'll intercept him right here. It's far enough from the house. Put Keith in the driveway. You cover him from over there. I'll be in the driveway down the street. And when the car passes, I'll send Keith out by radio. You got it?
Right.
Okay, move.
I hope so. I'm trying to, Bill. I only hope that...
I'll take that. Austin, I just want to prepare you. My partner will be here in a few minutes and we'll be leaving. We're taking your wife with us. Now don't get excited. It's just to be sure we get a little head start. If you both behave, you'll be hearing from her before long, and you'll never see us again. Now, won't that be nice? On the other hand, if there's any trouble, you can plan a funeral.
Okay, men, we're all set. Now get ready. When I say move, move. Now here he comes. Let's take it.
Okay, so I stole a car.
Yeah, sure did. Put your hands on the hood.
Wait a minute, cop. I've got something to say. And you ought to listen.
I'm all ears.
There's a woman being held, an innocent woman, with a gun at her head right now. If anything happens to me, my partner will kill her. I mean it. So I'd like to make a deal.
I got news for you. Put your hands up. We don't make deals. Come on, cuff him. Take him away.
No, he hasn't come yet.
You'll take your ride, all right. You just got tied up in a little traffic, that's all.
We're going to have to make this fast. That guy inside's going to get jumpy. Dennis, you work that hedge over there. When he comes out, make him turn to you. Ken and I will go around the block. We'll pull up right over there. Get my car out of the way. Come on.
All right, I'll ask him. Mister,
What?
what if your partner doesn't come? I mean, what if there's been an accident or something? Well, that wouldn't be our fault. I mean, you wouldn't do anything.
Oh, shut up.
But it wouldn't be our fault.
I said shut up.
When you get in position, give me the okay. Good luck.
You too.
Thanks, I'll need it.
That's him. He's here, Austin. We're leaving. Don't move until you hear from your wife. Come on, let's go.
You all right, Mrs. Austin?
I had to grab you pretty hard. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I never felt better in my life. You know, for a minute there, I didn't think I was going to live through it.
Oh, Mrs. Austin, have you got a telephone?
I sure do.
Do you mind if I use it?
No.
Thanks. See Highway Patrol again next week. Until then, remember, If you care to drive, drive with care. This is Bradley Crawford saying, see you next week.